My pleasure to introduce James Lin of the National Palace Museum in Taipei, will be giving us a distinctly Taiwanese perspective in a paper entitled From Digital Archives to New Media Art. Now, let's switch.
My name is James Lin. I'm from the National Palace Museum in Taipei, Taiwan. First of all, I want to thank Sarah to invite me over to join this conference. Okay, I'll just go straight into this topic, from digital archive to new media art. And this is the outline. I'm going to talk a little bit about the museum itself and also the projects going on since 10 years ago. Make a very quick look back and give some latest update for what's going on in the last 2 years. And mainly we're kind of moving from digital archive, taking image from our artifacts to using all these raw material into different media, including website, movies, interactive kind of kiosk, to the latest new media art installation. So I'll just quick go through these things and give you some highlight with a little bit movies, films. And if we have enough time, I'll cover a little bit about merchandising, how to move all these things into the market to not just invite people to come to visit, but come to spend. And at the very end, I'm to cover a little bit about what's going on now and the next 5 years in terms of using technology into museum area. So I'll make a conclusion. So the museum, you probably all know about this museum. It's quite unique and special, and it was founded, actually it's not far from now. It's 1925, it's about 80 years ago. It's a new museum actually, but the building back in Beijing, the Forbidden City, is a very old site of Chinese culture and certainly the Chinese governance. And since then, we have this special event happened in 1922 because of a war. They have to move the artifacts down south into mainland China. And 22% of this imperial holding now end up in Taipei. So this is the current situation back in Taipei. The museum reopened in 1965 in the suburban area in Taipei City. And as you can see here, we have the latest renovation, keep expanding. And the collection, we are holding about 70,000 objects now. And if you are interested in this area, you are welcome to visit our website. We put everything online, and including how many pieces in terms of different categories, even in English, Spanish, French, Germany, and even Arabic. So we have different kind of language to describe our collection and all our educational program. Everything's online. Okay, back to the technology side. I'm from the computer science background. I worked for the university teaching for a while. I joined this museum not until 10 years ago. And the reason is they have these projects going on from different government agencies, including digital archive, including digital museum and digital learning program. As you can see that since year 2001, we're trying to digitize everything in our holding, which is mission impossible actually. And we're trying to transform all these raw material into different usage, and even make them into, turn into the assets so we can use them in many different areas. And also we try to expand all these projects into diverse usage, including merchandising, registration, conservation, whatever you know about museum. So some of these projects still going on. As you can see from this picture, the digital archive program started in 2001, and we have a digital museum for 5 years since 2002 and 2003. So some of these projects ended. The digital archive is going to be end actually this year. So that's 10 plus 1, that's 11 years for digital archive program. We still have some smaller project going on, like the UNS project, which means utilize ubiquitous network society, try to implement like wireless LAN, RFID implementation. And also we have this cultural creativity project coming to utilize all these raw material into like merchandising. So, like I said, some of these projects still going on, but the whole structure actually is found in this picture. We kind of built the digital archive as the fundamental raw material and then utilize them to present theme by theme to the website, through the movies, or through the kiosk we have. And also we have some learning program, like courseware for jade, paintings, whatever you named from our collection. And also we have this merchandising process. So I'll just give you an overview of these projects going on. So let's take a look back to the last 10 years, what has been done. First of all, the digital archiving, digitizing, metadata systems open to the public, and you probably all know about this scanning, digitizing process, except one thing, except that the museum, the collection itself is so fragile and is so precious. So we take so much care during this process. Actually, you know, probably the human resource is the largest barrier of digitizing the whole collection, because every time the curator has to follow all the process, take care of everything about artifacts. The photographers cannot touch anything, except the shutter on his camera. So try to imagine that the curator has to spend so much time along the way. That's the special issue we should know about this digitizing artifacts in a museum. And certainly the quality of the image and also the IP issue follow-up, watermarking to secure your intellectual property right. So that's the whole process. And including some new stuff coming, like the 3D modeling, scanning, and nowadays CT scanner is coming. So you always have a lot of new stuff coming, following you, and you'll never end this process. And we also work with some high-profile institute, including the Academia Sinica, our industrial research lab back in Taipei, and also Microsoft Research Asia, try to utilize different approach to digitize. So after these, we have the image file, we have the metadata, so we put them to public through these metadata system on the website. So you probably can see, for now, we only have Chinese version. Certainly we are welcome if any one of you want to convert them into English or any kind of language, we're open to that. And following doubling core, we have these metadata plus one, well, good enough image file for the general public, including our antiquities, paintings, some of our rare books, and documents from the Qing Code. As you can see some of these image files from our database. Just make a quick. Okay, in terms of proportion, we open almost 100% of our painting and calligraphy. I believe we can finish that in 2 years. And antiquity, about 50%, we're still moving. But we have a lot inside use collection management system, which is limited for research and curatorial work only. As you can see here, we have hundreds of fields to describe an artifact inside. And certainly some of these data are quite sensitive to the general public. And along with these high resolution image file, you can rotate them, zoom them, and including actually the conservation record and whatever you do to the artifacts. We digitize the whole process and also include every image file through pictures to X-rays into the database. So that's pretty much the work we have done on digitizing our artifacts and collecting all these raw material. And then after that, you have to use them. Actually, nowadays, we're trying so hard to pull them out from the database in terms of, instead of put them into the database. So the digital museum projects mainly try to use these on the web, on the DVD titles, films, as we can take a very quick overview of these. And theme-based website based on our special exhibition coming out every 3 months. They're all online now, including e-learning courseware, of course. We build up virtual museums. We publish new e-newsletter, Chinese and English both. We try to do something, with films, because we have done a lot on interactive type of kiosk, but it's not really good. I mean, in terms of engagement, in terms of interactivity. But we find out movies, short films, is very good to communicate with general public. So we started to make documentary films, drama, a little bit love story about the daily life in the museum, and including to talk about the craftsmanship back in Ming and Qing dynasty, which is not here anymore. And we have this short film about a special exhibition. So it takes 30 seconds. Let's just take a look. How's the sound?
状态，那个原始跟前卫史其实是相同的，所以我一直希望说那些传统的东西跟我现在做的这些电脑音乐啊，能够做一个很好的结合。花期婚姻有故事，心情其实各中年，春来时事何所属？ 发展探求上水线。我看到这样的东西，我会有感觉，我会感动，然后我会看到那种老东西是感动，也是。
So that's 1,000 years old calligraphy work, and we invited a modern, actually it's a computer music composer to interpret. The gentleman recited in, it's not Mandarin, actually it's a Hokkien, quite Taiwanese style of dialect. So this film is about a special exhibition back in 2007 about Song Dynasty painting, and we also won an award from the AAM Muse Award Gold in promotional marketing film. So that's how we get started to put our brand name on a film and have this marketing campaign, all this news started. And suddenly we started to try to use this kind of short film approach to present our artifacts in many different situations, in many different ways, try to attract the attention from whoever passed by in the MRT station, in the train station, in the airport. It's a Qin Qianlong Emperor times revolving vase. It's quite straightforward, short, and interesting, certainly beautiful. And the director came from Malaysia. Well, there's 5 of them, but since the time is limited, let me skip and keep going. And certainly for in terms of communication, outreaching, there's no way you can compete with the Discovery Channel, the National Geographic Channel. So we kind of invite them to join us to, to record all these treasures and whatever we are doing now in the museum, including conservation, exhibition, and also including technology. So we have this film about inside the Emperor's Treasure. It's now still playing on the NGC channel, translated into different languages. And also we kind of document the whole process of digital archiving for those people who are working on taking pictures every day, and what's going on, what's the problem they're facing, what do they think about this work. So we have this kind of documentary film also. So other than these, we also take care of children. We know museum is very important to attract children, so we try to spend some money to make a film dedicated for kids. So let me just show you, part of this 3D animation made back in 2006. It's about 13 minutes. It's not really long, but mainly it's for orientation, for school children coming, just like you guys sitting there and watching this, about the museum, a little bit about the history, about the artifacts, about the rules. Don't run in the gallery, don't bump into each other, everything no, 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 things like those. We invited the curators to join us, and we have a team to work with. The script writer came from Canada. The animation director came from Hollywood. So we worked together to create this 3D animation with Chinese, English, and Japanese. That's a famous Jedi cabbage.
Oh, look at that. Don't touch that. Gotcha. Look what I got. Put it back this instant. You'll break something.
Let me just skip over and, if you have time, you want to watch it, I can just, find somewhere and some time for you, just play it. So he has to go through the gallery, try to find the cricket bag. And see this bronzeware is a wine container.
Wow, everything's spinning. Oh, my three friends. What's up?
Mr. Winebus, have you seen heated about this big go this way?
Which one do you mean? I've seen lots and lots go by.
You must be the prettiest lady in the whole museum. Oh, for such a little boy, you speak so charmingly.
I just learned yesterday, actually the day before yesterday, this lady, the Tang Dynasty lady, was donated one of the Hong Kong a collector, Xu Zantang 先生. Probably you people in Hong Kong know about this gentleman. And his brother was in Taipei now. But anyway, let me just stop this film. If you are interested in this film, you are welcome to find me. We can just, I can show you on my computer. So actually, the whole process of making this film is quite, educational actually. So we invited the whole team into the gallery on the premiere of this film. And also we won several awards from the Tokyo International Anime Fair and also from the AVCOM. And latest animation actually will kind of turn our direction into use animation with a little bit daily life style. So let's also take a very quick look into this area. It's not just one, actually it's dozens of them. They're based on different topic. Like this one's about the old times when people study, they farm at home, they drink, they play instruments, musical instruments in their daily life. So we kind of bring this kind of taste of life back to, and starting with a film and then turn that into animation. And the venue you are watching now actually is the garden right in front of our museum. And certainly bring in our painting. Yeah, about how people make tea back in Han Dynasty, and based on one of the hand scroll in our collection. Yeah. And then back to the modern life. You probably have seen this musical instrument in the Pure Land. It's a little bit modern approach, plus the quality from the ancient painting. So you can see that the animation it looks really beautiful because of these elements from our collection. Okay, let me also skip this, just give people a little bit overview. E-learning, certainly lots of knowledge about like bronze well, for jade well. There's a lot of things you cannot learn from just visiting, just go through the gallery. You need educators to pack them into a courseware. So actually we're doing that also, make them available online. So there's a series of them, including bronze well, ceramic, paintings, even like for conservation, jade. So lately, since we're doing these projects for 10 years already. So we were kind of thinking and changing a little bit along the way. And now we're kind of focused on interactive type of kiosk. So let me just give you some idea about these. Like this one, we turn a static type of painting into animation, and based on different cultural background. And you probably can take a look at this. And so for people from New York, you probably will be able to, well, we shown this to people in Houston, AM, but last year. Lots of attention, and I think that's the only way we can attract American people to come near and say, what's this? Otherwise, it's just going to be an old painting. Well, how about Paris? So the whole idea comes from the airport. Actually, we have built a gallery in the airport. So people come in and go in from different time zones. So we just want to give them a feel like what's going on. What time is it now in New York? So we put a pressure-sensitive mat on the ground. So whenever they step on the time zone, they change the animation and fit into that cultural background. A little bit lazy and easy life. I'm wondering, is that true? Let's take a look at Taipei. Probably quite similar with Hong Kong. And probably now to every city. Cameras, smartphones, social tagging, social networking all the time. Say cheese. That's it. So we also built many different type of kiosk, so you can put your hands on our artifacts, including paintings. You can zoom them, you can rotate them if they are stereotype. And we fit all these things into different themes, also special exhibitions since 2008. As you can see, a whole list of these exhibitions in the gallery and also out of the gallery into the city, into down south to different cities, even to mainland China, and to New York, LA, Houston, wherever. And this is the gallery I just said. It was in the international airport in Taipei. I say words, it means words. It's gone now. We're kind of ending this process. We tear it down last week. So it's not there anymore. But still, all these kiosks are still available. We'll still move them around the island. And also for this special exhibition, we use Microsoft tablet surface computing to present our artifacts, and based on the Yongzheng Emperor, the father of Qianlong. And during his time, he has these paintings and ceramic. So we have this special exhibition. We bring everything into this surface so people can use this mascot, put it on top, and bring up the artifacts and turn it around, zoom it, and talk about it. So we also send these things, like I said, into the city. This is a park actually in the middle of the city. It's not nearby the museum actually, it's in the city. So people can come and appreciate all these paintings and zoom them with a very high, bright lighting instead of, dark in the gallery. So you can see that down south in one of the city. And also in Houston, like I said, the whole set, the pressure sensitive mat on the ground, people can step on it and play that animation I just shown you. And also we invited new media artists to join us to present all these artifacts for special exhibition. This is one of the most popular exhibition last year. Not just for the Palace Museum, but also in the world. In 3 months, we bring in 800,000 people rush into the museum to see this hand scroll about 360 years ago. And the painting itself is full of story. It's a legend because this gentleman, he retired from his government official position, started painting once in a while because kind of dwell in the mountain area in Zhejiang province. So that take him about 5 years to finish the whole part. And lots of scholars imitate his painting. So this new media artists came in and try to imitate and tell the story from different perspective. For example, he bring in the painting and show it to people with the new approach. There's 44 projector on top to synthesize the whole painting and project it on the wall. So people can walk in and play with it by hand and by voice. And you can reach out your hand to play with the butterfly to imitate one of the story back in Chinese history about scholars gathering by the riverside to talk, to create their poem, to drink. They put cup in the river, and whoever catch the cup have to drink it up and make a poem right away. But anyway. Like I said, the painting itself is full of story and it's a school of painting. So there's many different ways to tell the story. Okay, talk about the history. Let me just skip a little bit about. Yeah, that's just part of the story. So one of the units talk about how this painter started painting and what happened to the painting itself, because one of the collector loved this painting and he wanted to bring it all even when he passed away. So his son actually threw the whole painting into the fire, tried to criminate for his father, and luckily his nephew just grabbed it back. And since then the painting kind of departed. So lots of people try to bring it back, even including the young Qianlong emperor himself. But he kind of misinterpreted, and he didn't actually find the authenticate one. But anyway, after 365 years, that's the first time these two pieces come together back in Taipei. And probably that's the reason why people rush in. And like I said, it's a school, whole school of painting. They have a special skill to paint. So actually this kiosk teach you how to paint this kind of style. Let's just skip over. Okay, like I said, people try to imitate his painting. So there's a lot of replica of this painting. So each one has its own story. So this artist, he used this kind of approach. You can bring the replica and put it on the sensor. And we started, actually it's not animation, it's a film. But it's based on, let me just, also in Fujian style dialect, to talk about this replica and how the author gets started to think about idea and how he practiced this. So let me just also end this. James. So we bring in this kiosk into the gallery, and also now it's still traveling into mainland China. We haven't decided the next venue of presenting this new media art yet. So other than this, we have this kiosk in different venue, and we kind of reassemble them to fit into different situations. Like this one actually is in one of our gallery about painting, and people keep coming and keep complaining about why this painting is not on exhibition, because we have to rotate them so often because of the conservation reason.
James, 5 minutes.
Sure, yeah, I can finish that. Okay, so in the gallery, we kind of put all the kiosk about our paintings, about our calligraphic work together, so people can come in and appreciate all these things through computers and databases. So just take a quick look. And like I said, we also get into the city, into this cultural park, and we have a special gallery in there and use all these kiosks. Let me show you the latest one, which is about the full season in the Palace Museum. We pick 4 paintings from 4 dynasty, the Song, Yuan, Ming, Qing dynasty, and this one's from Qing dynasty. The Italian painter Giuseppe Castiglione, he's painting about flowers and birds. So when people come in, make a voice or clap your hand, that will initiate the animation. And this is a Song dynasty painting. The exercise is about this. It actually is a fan. And also this one from Yuan dynasty. So that's representing 4 different seasons, 4 different painting with a little bit interaction. And mainly it's based on the Microsoft Connect. that's something very interesting because it's on the lotus pond. There's a breeze coming in, so we try to imitate the natural wind with different speed of this fan. So also, change the speed of this animation, make it more natural. Okay, let me also just stop this film. It's only 3 minutes left. Okay, that's the latest one. Also very quickly, several seconds, let you know about a map from Qing Dynasty. Turn that into a very large scale. Okay, so that's pretty much the interactivity part of these instruments we made so far. And merchandising, quick go through. Image licensing, certainly, for most of the museum. Production of our gift shop product. And also we license our brand name. We work with private vendors to create products. And they can sell them anywhere through their own channel. So you can see these pictures from British Museum Gift Shop. That's one of our cooperation with Alegi. And also we have the whole series of product coming out. We license the brand name to them, and we license our image file and also our ideas. We work with them to create our artifacts and also our merchant. So let me just skip this technology part and go to our conclusion. If you know about Horizon Report, you can just check it out on the website about museum technology for site, mobile apps, tablets, AR, e-publication, digital preservation, and smart objects, which are those technology coming in the latest 5 years. And also for the museum, as you can see here, let me make my conclusion. So you can see that actually the role of the museum is changing. It's never end. But just nowadays it changed so fast. We have to be a conservation, we have to be a researcher, educator, plus you have to be entertaining people and making merchandise, be a merchant, be a businessman sometimes, and including a government official because we're national. And also the trend of using technology is inevitable. You cannot just close your eye and just don't ignore them. And you have to do it well with different departments, with different institutions, with different companies, and also make it look great, look fun. So that's probably my conclusion. And also, I'm looking to the future. The National Palace Museum is now moving into the mobile computing area. We're making our apps this year. And also, e-publishing, we're moving some of our catalog into e-publishing area, and cloud is coming, so we're looking into that area also. So I'm glad to have this chance to share with you some of our work, and you are welcome to have questions, and we can talk about it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Lin. We're a little bit late, so rather than make it even later for the rest of the day, what I suggest is that we adjourn now, and those with specific questions can address Dr. Lin. So I